Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore and you join us in the build-up to kick-off for the fourth game of the season in the National League North. The Break's second home game of the season and one in which they will certainly want to pick up where they left off here against Farsley a fortnight ago. That 4-0 dismantling on the opening day against the Celt Army was followed up by a tough away test at Akborough as Leamington defended resolutely, which will be sure to have boosted an already high defensive unit's morale. On Tuesday night, the Breaks made the trip to the Peak District to take on newly promoted Buxton. Both sides walked away with a point and remained unbeaten this season. Today's opponents, Spennymoor Town, finished last season in 10th, and although they tried to make a late run for the playoff spots, fell 3 points short. Over Christmas last year, Spennymoor parted with 7-month manager Tommy Miller and brought in well-known double act Bernard Morley and Anthony Johnson to take the reins. An upturn in results and belief in the club followed, and over the summer they have started to build a squad many think could once again challenge those playoff spots. Simeon May just helps it on. Usher Shipway tidies up in midfield and sends one to Dan Meredith, who just has a bit of space to run over halfway. Meredith on his right foot, just making tracks down the right-hand side. Ramshaw's gone back with him. Meredith tries to get an early-ish cross in, but Ramshaw just managed to get the block in. Ramshaw just put under pressure by both Usher Shipway and Meredith, who's stayed to support him, and Ramshaw's got nowhere to go and gives it away to Usher Shipway. Usher Shipway gets it in towards the near post. Turner can't collect, comes out to Edwards. Drilled shot just past the left-hand post. Really good bit of play. Usher Shipway and Meredith put Ramshaw under all sorts of pressure down by the corner flag. Ramshaw just gave it away to Usher Shipway, whipped it into the near post, and as the ball bounced towards the edge of the area, snapshot by the captain Edwards, but just a yard or so wide of that far post. Comes out to this left-hand side in front of us with Duxbury. Duxbury tried a little through ball towards Taylor, but it's hooked away by Mace. Jack Edwards has climbed all over, but nothing doing in midfield, and Ayubo will pick it up. Bit of a loose ball, and he plays it straight into the feet of Turner. Turner's got space and pace to run down the right-hand side. Ayubo does well because he knows that he gave the ball away, and he tracks back on Turner and just wins the ball in front of him. Long ball sent all the way through. Mace will have a job to clear it up. Jack Lay gives it all the way through to Thewlis, and Thewlis just can't quite bring it down. Bit of a loose header, uncharacteristic from Jack Lane, who just didn't quite communicate, and he headed it straight into the feet of Thewlis, who tried to take it down first time, but Callum Hawkins was advanced enough just to pick up the loose, bumbling ball. Just tick past the 5-minute mark in this National League North encounter. It's Leamington 0, Spennymoor 0. Turner finds a loose ball and comes into the 18-yard box. Turner on his right foot, chases her, tries to shoot, can't do it, comes out to Walker on the edge, and he puts one high over the Harbury Lane end. Just picked it up outside the 18-yard box, ghosted in, took on Tate onto his right foot. Tate got a good block in, and as the ball came to Walker, 20 yards out, loose shot from him was all the way over the crossbar of Max Metcalf. So, can Usher Shipway find some magic from the throw? Ball above his head. Sends it deep into Spennymoor territory. It's headed away by Curtis onto the edge where Devon Kelly-Evans can't quite collect it. And does well, but Spennymoor break now, over halfway. Forward comes Ramshaw. Tries to send it out to the right-hand side. Just got his pass a little bit wrong. Hall sweeps up as he was tracking back into the left-back position. It's cleared away by Hawkins. Edwards flicks on well into the feet of Turner. Turner sends it forward to Usher Shipway. Usher Shipway is offside. Well, finishes delightfully with a little chip, but the offside flag was raised. Usher Shipway had just gone half a yard too early. Duxbury receives it back, left-footed. Tries to shape left-footed, right-footed, drops it back onto his right foot. Can he get the cross in? No, he sends it to Ayubo, does get the cross in. It's towards the far post, and Callum Hawkins takes an easy catch. And the header came in from cousin Dawson, who just come all the way into the far post area from his right-back position. And it'll be a throw-in to the Breaks and to Meredith over on that far side.
Leamington won the corresponding fixture last season. It was actually the opening day fixture. Dan Turner and Jack Edwards got on the score sheet that day.
Thewlis just loses out to Devon Kelly-Evans in front of us. Kelly-Evans, chance to run down this left-hand side. Left-footed, just looking to take on Chandler. Chandler stands him up. Kelly-Evans gets a left-footed cross in. Cannons off his own body, has another chance. Gets it in towards the near post, headed away to Walker on the edge. Left-footed drive over the bar.
As strange as it seems, I think he just had that little too much time there. I mean, you could see it was coming down from the air, but he just leant back too far and just couldn't get it on target. Definitely a chance there for Leamington.
Crossfield ball onto the chest of Louis Hall, who's in at left back with that bandage from the head injury in the first half. Turner now comes deep to collect the ball, just holds it up well, sends it into the feet of Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans, plenty of space, has a look around him and then just works it neatly onto his left foot and sends it towards Louis Hall. Louis Hall, chance to measure his cross, tries to get it in towards Turner, not enough on it, and it's headed away by the Moors. May does really well to win the header just inside the Spennymoor half, but Spennymoor now escape over halfway and it will be Glenn Taylor. Glenn Taylor just glides into Leamington territory, assesses his options, he's got an overlap. Taylor on his right foot has a good go, but sits straight into the arms of Callum Hawkins, but good attacking intent. And it'll be again a corner to Spennymoor. So just putting the brakes under enough pressure. Quick corner again into the feet of Ayibo. He dances towards the left foot, chops back onto his right foot, chance to shoot, shoots well, buries it. Great finish by Jude Ayibo. It was a quick corner again. It fed into him on the near side. He dropped his shoulder, cut back onto his right foot, and then fired one across the body of Callum Hawkins. Callum Hawkins, outstretched right arm, could get nowhere near it. And after 60 minutes here or so at your Co-op Community Stadium, Spennymoor 1, Leamington 0.
Yeah, fine finish from Ayibo there. The winner the last time the teams met back in April. Dispatched it with some authority there. You could see his feet, you could see how much space he had, and he made sure Hawkins got nowhere near it.
Fine strike from Jude Ayibo, gives Moors the lead. And well, Leamington now, for the first time this season, if they're going to get anything from this game, will have to come from behind. Spennymoor deserve to be ahead.
But it's interesting to see what they do now. Do they try and sit back, soak up some Leamington pressure, or do they carry on as they've been playing the whole match?
Flicked on by Jack Lane at the near post, and Dan Turner just wasn't alert enough to try and pick up the loose ball as it bounced around the penalty spot and it's into the arms of Metcalf. Duxbury just collects the ball and just assesses his options. Ayibo goes to show short for him again. This time he's marshalled well by Meredith and Kelly Evans. It's whipped in towards the far post and it's a far diving header at the far post that's high over the crossbar, and that's half a chance.
Yeah, there was no one with him there at all. He usually takes those chances from a historical level, scores lots of goals, but that time couldn't get anything on target.
The breaks will get us back under play quickly with Meredith throwing down the line. Edwards chests it in towards the number 12 on that far side of Prosser. Prosser just loses out to Duxbury, and Duxbury can send a long ball over the head of everyone. It's flicked on towards Ayibo. Ayibo does really well as Callum Hawkins. Oh, it's been cannon back off him. And while it dances just wide, great ball through towards Ayibo. It eluded everyone. Callum Hawkins came out of his area. Callum Hawkins' clearance blasted into the bodies, and the ball, everyone stopped, took a deep breath as the ball just bounced towards the Leamington goal, but it was half a yard wide. It must have come off a breaks defender from the clearance of Callum Hawkins, and it'll be a corner to Spennymoor on this near side. Everyone just stopped and drew breath then, Craig, to see where that ball was going to end up.
Indeed it did. It took an age, didn't it, as well, to go towards the goal. Everyone just waiting to see what happened, and luckily from a Leamington point of view, just trickled wide of the post.
Cook whips it in towards the near post. It's headed away by the Moors, and it will go out towards Alex Prosser, who feeds the ball back to Cook on his left foot. Tries to flick it in further towards Jack Lane. Jack Lane inside the penalty area has a go, and it's cleared off the near post. Fed out towards Prosser. Prosser towards the far post now, headed behind by Curtis, and that's better attacking intent from the breaks. Jack Lane came inside the area. I couldn't see if it came off a body or if it was off the near post. Jack Lane's frustration strikes me that it may come off the near post, but either way, Metcalf was planted and it was a chance for the breaks.
There's a Spennymoor player down, I think, just trying to buy a bit of time for his teammates, but so much more attacking a threat from Leamington since the substitution of English.
Prosser with the corner kick this side. He works it in towards the far post, towards Jack Edwards, but it misses everyone, and it'll be cleared by the substitute, Danny Greenfield. Greenfield, left-footed, really well blocked by Kieran Cook. He puts him under pressure and then works it in towards the feet of English. English on the edge of the area now. He's got Edwards for company. Edwards, chance to get the cross in towards the far post, headed away by Spennymoor. Onto the edge towards Prosser. Prosser right-footed, just wide. Great bit of play from the breaks. They worked it out towards Prosser on the edge of the area, 18 yards out. He had time to set himself onto his right foot, whipped one towards that far post. Metcalf just watched it half a yard wide. Just flicks on towards English. English loses out though, and Spennymoor send it forward towards Meredith, who just sends a high ball towards Turner. Turner collects really well on halfway and tries to send it over the head of Curtis, but Curtis is tall enough to cut that one out as it was heading towards Junior English. Walker just tries to battle for the bouncing ball in the middle of the park with Wheatley. Edwards steps in and battles really well with Kieran Cook, but they lose out the breaks, and it's shepherded away by Duxbury. Duxbury beats the offside trap, and it's through towards Taylor. Taylor left-footed, good save by Callum Hawkins.
He did well there, Callum Hawkins, against the experienced Glenn Taylor. Hawkins, very confident looking keeper, always impressed by him.
Taylor takes it to the corner and will try and waste a bit of time down there with Jack Lane and Adam Walker for company. They wrestle it off for him, and Walker then clears it away, stabs it towards halfway where Turner can win the flick on. Junior English had come to support him and then alleviated all the space where he would have been. A long ball from Spennymoor bounces all the way through to Callum Hawkins, and we have a couple of minutes here for the breaks to try and get a final opportunity. Hawkins sends a high ball into the blue Warwickshire sky. Edwards wins the flick on. Turner can hold it up on the edge of the box. And then Spennymoor again do well to clear it away. There's plenty of space on that far side if Greenfield can keep it in. Greenfield does keep it in, left-footed. Dances down the left-hand side now, and he'll try and take it to the corner as well. Prosser goes over to see if he can rob him of possession. And that's full time. Spennymoor had all the possession today, and they've had the one clear-cut opportunity that has seen them take all 3 points this afternoon. Spennymoor get their first win of the season, and with that they make sure that the Breaks have their first loss of the season. So the final score here at your Co-op Community Stadium: Leamington 0, Spennymoor 1. The goal coming from Judah Yebo in the second half. On the balance of play, you'd say that if anyone deserved a way to go with 3 points today, it probably was Spennymoor Town.
Paul, a very hard game with the weather conditions there, and just the one goal between the two. Your thoughts on the game today?
Yeah, it was difficult, but listen, they've mastered the conditions and the game better than us today. Probably got in at half time, and listen, without being penetrated or looking in any real danger, they pinned us in. It was easy to pin in with this win, and that's probably the most disappointing for me. The first 20 minutes of the second half, when certain ways you need to play against Spennymoor and with the conditions, and we just haven't done it. Our game management with and without the ball today has been nowhere near. The goals come from a short corner, which we're not clued up to. Well, we are clued. It's on the ball, that short corner, but so we've been sloppy today, really sloppy. We've played 3 or 4 sides. 3 out of the 4 sides, I would say, have been put together to really challenge in this league, and these are a good side. Real good attacking threat. Super goal by the boy. I'll talk about us defensively, but what a strike. And really, probably last 15-20 minutes, I thought was a bit of purpose in our play. Got the ball in better positions, looked a little bit of a threat. But a day like today, when it's difficult, probably been second best for large periods, you've just got to keep that clean sheet intact, because structurally we're very good and we dealt with it, so it's disappointing that it's come from a set play. But listen, we need to be better. We've got to be better than we were today. We were listen, Farsley and Buxton, we've been tremendous. Kiddy was dogged. Today was really not where it needs to be. Need to do better.
You say there, it was very tight at the back there. With the goal that was scored was a bit of magic by the player there. It seemed like Leamington weren't going to get opened up any other way. No,
Jude, yeah, they've done well with him. The boys here, he's come through it with Kerrs and Chester and that, but he looked a real threat. Seems to understand the game more. I think, yeah, and listen, it's great, but when you look back at the clip, you'll see we've got 2 players zoned for that, and Devon needed some support around the ball, because we know he's capable of that. We've seen it. So for us not to react to the danger is disappointing in our box. And like you say, second half, I think we could have played the conditions a little bit better. We could have spun it round them a little more to get Dan away. We just haven't done it really. And listen, but they're a tough side to play against. They manage the game. They manage the game, the pitch, the referee. They've got experience. They've got pace. They've got know-how. They've got men. And it was a tough afternoon for us. But listen, we'll have to do better. Simple as that.
We saw Stephen Morley before the game today seemed to be warming up. Where is he with his injury at the minute?
Yeah, he's we seem to have solved the little tear or whatever he had. Seems to have settled down now, so he's back into sort of 3/4 training now. So just a case of building him up. Obviously he's had an injury at the back end of last season as well, and he's had no pre-season, so he's still a bit away. But listen, it's positive signs. At least we seem to have got over the. We seem to have managed to cure the pull or the tweak or the tear, whatever it was. So yeah, so good. And no, like you say, it's listen. The boys have done all right, but I think it's harsh lesson today. You know, sides in this league, if you switch off or you're not quite at it, and you get punished. And listen, we've got a week to prepare now for a really tough bank holiday weekend, and we'll go again.